I want y'all to know that I don't get on here for clicks, views, attention. As you can see, I don't even show my face no more. I simply just want to get the message across. But I want to say that all this stuff has just been, it's just been a little tough for me. After the 23rd and the 24th passed, the day after when I woke up, the 25th, for some reason, I still had this faith that wasn't moved at all. For some reason, I had more peace than before because I just knew that the Lord, I just, I just knew that something wasn't right because he showed himself to so many of us. He revealed his secret to so many of us. I mean, instantly. I have never, out of my 5 years of being saved, I have never experienced the Lord respond so fast in my life. And to see it happen in other people's lives, I've never seen the spiritual activity like I'm seeing it now. And there are times where I was on fire and the Lord still wasn't, it still would feel like he wasn't saying anything, like he was silent, but I was on fire. But I did have a short amount of time. It didn't last long at all. Probably an hour at max, where I would lose faith. And I would think, I know we all thought this after the 23rd and the 24th passed. I know we all were like confused. And we all had that thought like, if we are deceived and we weren't hearing from the Lord, then what does the Lord sound like? Then who were we hearing from? I had that thought like, if that wasn't the Lord responding to me and speaking to me, then who was it? Then how can I know if it's the Lord speaking to me? When I knew 100% that it was Him speaking to me, when I asked Him to confirm 23rd and 24th to me, He responded quickly. And it wasn't nothing small like just looking at a license plate. I mean, I was having real life encounters, dreams, visions. He would pop up in my thoughts like randomly. I would hear rapture or I would hear feast or you know, before I wasn't experiencing the spiritual activity so quickly how I am now, how I have the past couple of weeks. It's just been so tough. So last night I was in my kitchen. First off, I've been trying to get back to that place of intimacy with the Lord for a while now. And I feel like I feel like I just haven't been that close how I should be with him. I haven't really been in my word how I should be. And when I am in my word, it's just like I want more of him. I want to be, I don't know, I just feel like my heart isn't as soft as it's supposed to be towards him, or like it used to be when I first got saved, or even at the beginning of this year. I mean, I was on fire. So I've been trying to get back. So yesterday I was in my kitchen and I was just sitting on the floor and just thinking really deeply about everything that's been happening. And in my life, I have things that I have to deal with. But I know I don't have to deal with them. I know I don't have to give it much energy because when I give it energy, when I think about it, it just stresses me out. And I've just been trying to lay it at his feet and give it to him and let it go. And I just been feeling like the world has been pulling me back ever since those dates passed. And even when even before this, when those dates passed, I asked the Lord, Lord, what is going on? And before I went to sleep that night, I think this was the 25th or the 26th. But before I went to sleep, I'm on YouTube, like, looking at what the Watchmen and Watch Women are, is up to. And somebody sends me this post from Bro Scott about the calendar being off. Mind you, out of my 4 or 5 years of being a Watchman, I've always heard that every time the Feast of Trumpets come around, the calendar is off. I've always heard that. But I would always, like put it in the background, like, not give it too much thought. So it never was a big deal since nothing happened every time Feast of Trumpets came around. So I guess none of us never really even thought about how important the Lord's calendar is. I'm gonna try to make this quick. Uh, so before I went to sleep, I'm seeing the same thing that happens every year. Somebody sends me a video. Oh, the calendar is off, and I'm just like, oh man, whatever. This happens every year, and I went to sleep, and I woke up, and something just it's like it wasn't even me. Something just pulled me towards just doing my own research about the calendar. Something made me think a little deeper. I mean, immediately when I woke up, this is what I thought about. Because y'all know, like, we're all looking for answers because we know the Lord spoke to us. So immediately I get up and I do my own research on how important the calendar is to God and what calendar He's using. And I was led to this article on Google that explains exactly what's what's being talked about now. Uh, Pope Gregory removing days from the calendar, and you know the calendar being changed from the Julian calendar, which is the calendar Jesus used uh, when he walked the earth. So I was led to this article, and I just knew before I clicked on this article, something told me that I was going to get something out of it, and I did. Because right after I was done reading that article, something clicked in my mind. This matters so much to God because he do not go off man's calendar, especially not a wicked man. He has his own calendar. And then it was just talking about how, you know, he created the moon, the stars, and to to tell the seasons, the days and the months and the years. And that made so much sense to me because they didn't have everything that we have in these days. So they had to use the moon, the stars, and just the signs of the earth to tell when, you know. So that clicked and it caused me to go look at the videos, Bro Scott's video, and it all made sense. And then it gave me that excitement again, and it gave me that hope again that the true Feast of Trumpets could really be on the Julian calendar, which would be October 7th, 6th, and 7th on the Gregorian calendar. So I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all about the dream that I had last night. So last night, like I said, I was in the kitchen. I was just thinking about everything, kind of losing hope, kind of thinking like, what should I focus on? Should I focus on, you know, going home, or should I focus on the things of this world that's only bringing me down? So I cried out to the Lord for answers. Lord, I need clarity. Lord, I need you to confirm to me if this is true about the calendar. And I went to sleep. Mind you, I've been trying to just brush all of this off and not even really think about it. And before I went to sleep, I cried out to him. And after that, I put on some worship music and I was just worshiping. I wasn't even thinking about, him giving me a confirmation or anything like that. I just, I did that and I put it in the background. I was just like, you know what, whatever. Okay. Move forward, focus on the Lord, give him worship. And that's what I did before I went to sleep. So I wasn't even thinking about any of that stuff. I was just I just went to sleep in peace. So I was woken up in the middle of the night by this dream. I'll just give y'all the meat of the dream because none of the extra stupid stuff matters. Y'all know like dreams are very random sometimes. Uh, but in the dream, I remember being upstairs in my house. I left the house and I went into the elevator. Like I have an elevator in my apartment right now. I went into the elevator and I had a lot of, it's like I was moving because I had a lot of my stuff in the elevator. I don't know, it might not mean anything. But this guy came in there and he said something about the Gregorian calendar. All I heard was the word Gregorian. But I knew that this guy came in the elevator to silence me uh, because of what I had found out about the Julian calendar. it's kind of like with famous people who, you know, sold their souls, uh, and they're bound to the Satanists of this world, and they say something they aren't supposed to say, and then these people are after them to silence them, uh, and these people end up disappearing. You never see them again because of something they said that they weren't supposed to say. This is what I felt in the dream. This guy came to silence me because of what I had found out, because I had found out the truth about the Julian calendar. And he tried to spray me with something, like something in my face, I guess to knock me out. But he tried to spray something in my face, and I ended up blocking it and fighting him off. And he ended up leaving. And after that, my mom was in a dream. Mind you, my mom, she was not saved before she died. Uh, my mom was in a dream. I don't think any of this matters, but I'm just throwing it out there. She went into the elevator and she went down, and but she went into the elevator without me, and I never went into the elevator with her. And so I took the stairs, and when I got to the bottom, she never came out of the elevator. Uh, so boom, I'm in the parking lot, and there's people in the parking lot that I know, family, people I've seen on social media, and they're possessed. It's like nothing but demons around me. And I knew that the reason that these demons were around me was because of what I had found out. And I knew that they were sent by the enemy to keep me distracted, to silence me. I knew all this that was happening in a dream was to silence me because of what I had found out about the calendar. And I think we can all say that the enemy is trying to silence us because of the truth that we have found about this calendar. And that's what I knew in this dream. It was a very random dream, but the meat of the dream was this guy tried to silence me because of what I had found out about the calendar being off. Uh, so I woke up and I wrote it down in my notes. I'm not reading it from my notes. I'm just saying it off the dome. Uh, but I haven't gave it too much thought ever since I had the dream, and I think I should give it deep thought because I cried out to the Lord, just like with Joshua. I cried out to the Lord about him. Lord, reveal to me, did you send Joshua? And that same night, I had a dream about Joshua. Like I said, the Lord has been, years ago, I would ask the Lord, Lord, give me a dream, confirm it, tell me something, speak to me. Nothing. I would hear nothing. I would get no dream, no vision, nothing. Now we are all asking the Lord for confirmation. We're asking him for things, and he's confirming it almost immediately. This says a lot about the times that we're in, y'all. The mockers and scoffers, the Christians who are holding on to no one knows the day nor hour just so they can bury their head in the sand and just keep pushing with their life. Or the ones who say, "Oh, just go preach the gospel, just stay in His word." Just, of course, I'm doing that. Of course, we're doing that. That's the foundation. But there's more to this story. The world is about to come to an end. This is what y'all don't understand. So we're trying to anticipate the closest time frame that he could possibly come for us. And we're coming up on that time frame. And this seems like the perfect. I mean, he's given the world time. This is why those dates passed. This is why he allowed it to happen. People keep saying, oh, why would he lie? Why would he allow? Do you not see that hearts are being exposed now? Do you not see that so-called Christians, so-called friends and family, their true colors have come out ever since these days passed? We got to open our eyes to the bigger picture, you know? I don't give the mockers and scoffers no, and even the Christians, I don't give them no attention, none at all, because it's ridiculous and it's annoying. So I don't give it no mind. I don't give it no attention, no energy. Because honestly, I think a lot of y'all can agree. At this point, I don't even think some of these comments are real. Like I said, I think these are the people who are working behind these screens. The people who, the elites, I'm going to say that. These people were sent to do this stuff. Because these comments start to come in at very weird times. So some of these comments I don't even think are real. These people watch us and they listen to us because they know that we know the times. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't. The enemy wouldn't even know what time. You know, he wouldn't even know anything if it wasn't for us Christians. You know, we just confirm it to him what he already know. A little bit of what he already know. Anyways, this is some deep stuff, y'all, man. We can't just throw this to the side because the dates passed and we feel all emotional and we're mad at God and we want to call Joshua a false prophet. Let me tell y'all something. Use your discernment. I don't think that man is lying. In fact, that man is not lying until the Lord tell me he's lying. That man is not lying. If you try to search him deeper, you're not going to find anything because the truth is just the truth. The truth is just the truth. There's nothing under or behind the truth. The truth is the raw truth. Now, a lie, you can find out what's behind a lie. The truth. What's behind a lie? The truth. What's behind the truth? Nothing, because the truth is the truth. There's nothing else to find out. That guy, when he gets on the camera, he's not just talking to the camera. He's talking to the soul. He's talking to the people. He's talking to the sent twins. He's talking to you and I. He don't look at this like an interview. He don't look at it like entertainment. No, no. Y'all gotta see the message, man. Y'all want to say somebody deceived so fast. It's just freaking annoying, man. Y'all know I don't get on I don't make no videos unless something is really unless it's deep. And this is deep. I can't just ignore this. I think and I feel convicted when I say I think. But I believe the Lord could be rapturing his children in October. October 6th, 7th, or 8th. I think we have found the time. And something that keeps coming to mind is the Simpsons episode where there was a delay and he ended up finding the real time and he was raptured. That Simpsons episode is exactly what's playing out right now. And how would they know? It's because the enemy the one changed he the one changed the calendar. I bet you the enemy knew around he knew when the Lord would rapture his children. I bet you the enemy knew before us because the Lord put it out there. He probably didn't know the day or hour exactly, but he knew the season. He just used us to find out what it is. So now that we are declaring this is the time, it's Feast of Trumpets. The enemy is like, okay, boom, it's time to move forward. So yeah, he's watching. The enemy is watching. Prophecy is playing out right before our eyes. And that's why it's been hard to be attached to anything of this world. Responsibilities, all of it. I have no care in the world for anything. I have no care for anything in this world. I'm constantly being pulled towards the Lord's plan. And right now, his plan is that he's coming back for his church. Before Feast of Trumpets came around, y'all can go back and look at my older videos. I knew that this was the year. And I knew that when Passover passed and the springtime passed and all those feast passed all throughout the year, I was I knew that it once we got close to September, I knew that we weren't going to be raptured until the Feast of Trumpets. So it's like I was already anticipating the time of when he could rapture us since I knew that it could be this year. So I knew the closer that we got to the end of the year, I knew that it could possibly be out of any other feast of the year, it could most likely be the Feast of Trumpets. And now that we've made it here, it's like he confirmed it to us. He told us Feast of Trumpets. He told me. He confirmed it to me many of times. Feast of Trumpets. Feast of Trumpets. Yom Teruah. The whole point of this, man, is he is coming to take his children home and save us from his wrath and the wrath of the enemy that is finna be poured out on this world. Before September 23rd, 24th, I mean the day before, I had a dream of America being invaded and portals being opened and demons coming out, creatures coming out. I've never seen all this spiritual stuff. I've never experienced any of this. The beginning of this, the beginning of this year is what I all through this year I've had maybe 100 dreams this year, and most of them dreams was the same dreams: America being invaded, Jesus coming back, demons and creatures roaming the earth. Over and over and over and over. I was having like 2 dreams every night for like 2 weeks straight. The Lord Himself even came to me in a dream and told me that He was coming twice. We were on top of a mountain and He was looking at the world. I couldn't see His face, Just like a lot of us can say, we never really can see his face. That's how you know when it's accurate. But I couldn't see his face. His back was turned to me, and I looked. I was. He was looking at the world while we were on top of this mountain. As I stood behind him, he said two words: "Be ready." This. So that dream last night, I think that was my confirmation to let go of this world completely and just look forward to going home on the 6th and the 7th or the 8th. October in general. We don't know the day nor hour. It's hard even saying that because it's like that's what he gave us prophecy for. But the reason I say no one knows the day nor hour is because he's God and he can come back whenever he wants to. So even though we might find the time frame where he could come back, uh, I think still we don't know the day nor hour because he's God and he can delay as much as he wants. So, but he's a God of order, and he told us himself that it's Feast of Trumpets, and the true Feast of Trumpets haven't come around yet. So we shall see. I think this is it though. We see that uh, the Daniel the prophecy in Daniel is being fulfilled right now with the covenant. Everything in Israel that's going on, we see that happening. We've never seen what we're seeing now, and people playing with their life, people gambling with their soul. So that's it, y'all. I hope to see y'all soon.